I decided to do today's episode from my kitchen. I love recording from here. It makes me feel like I'm kind of like having a cup of coffee with my girlfriends, just talking about life. And that's what we're going to do today. And the topic we're going to talk about, I hope, really starts to make you think. It starts to make you really dig into why you say or believe the things you say or believe. And we're really going to explore if you've been kidding yourself, right? If you've been saying some things, but really mean something else. So I'm talking about the concept between being healthy and wanting to lose weight. The two are really different. So if you are watching me live, either in our free Facebook group, Diet Disruptor Squad, or on our Facebook page, or on YouTube, if you're watching me live, go ahead and put in the comments, healthy versus losing weight. Go ahead and put that in there right now, because that's what we're going to be talking about today. And if you're watching this on replay or listening to this on the podcast, you can still absolutely comment. This is a big topic. See, I always say if you want something different, you've got to do something different. And it always starts here. At Disruptive Nutrition, we are all about relationships. So you'll hear us, especially in our Facebook group or on the Instagram or any of that stuff, book a call with a coach. Because there is so much confusion out there. I mean, how many groups are you guys in, really? Like, how many groups are you in about weight loss? And how many of you are on the TikTok or the Instagram just scrolling through like reels and your feed, looking at either recipes that are going to help you lose weight or trends that are going to help you lose weight? Like, you've tried all the things. And I always say it's a different it's a different, what is it? Like a different sheep in wolf's clothing? No, a different wolf in sheep's clothing. Like, it's the same thing, but in different clothing. I always forget how to say that. So all diets, all of them, are helping you to actually get unhealthier. Now, a lot of people will say to me, well, diets just don't work anymore. But I would ask you, what is your definition of working? Because if your definition of working is losing weight while you deprive yourself, only to gain it back as soon as you eat, quote unquote, regular again, and the next time you do a diet, you actually lose less weight than you did the first time, and you fall off, your cravings are more, your energy is less, your sleep is disturbed, and you keep gaining weight. I hate to break it to you, but that's exactly what every diet is designed to do. And there's two reasons for it. One is the science of depriving yourself. I always say, what thrives in a deficit? Name one thing. If you're watching me live or on the replay and can comment, don't do this if you're driving, put in the comments deficit and answer. See if you can. What thrives in a deficit? I have never been able to have anybody answer that. So why do we think our body will thrive in a deficit? And it's funny when I talk to women about this, because believe it or not, when we tell people to get on a call with a coach, sometimes it's me that gets on that call. All of our coaches have to do calls with women. Again, if you want something different, you've got to do something different. And just looking around the interwebs for another thing that sounds good is never going to last, because you're not relationally tied to either that approach, or you're not really in a place of being like, yeah, I understand what this is all about. So we don't put anything on our website that you're just going to be able to buy to work with us, or like any sort of coaching program, because that's not how our approach is to get relational with you and to help you understand, regardless of whether or not you ever work formally with us. To me, it's about everybody understanding and then making a decision for themselves. Okay, so dieting puts us at a deficit, and we keep thinking that it worked for a while. But like I said, there's two reasons why it's not quote unquote working in your definition. Your definition is keeping the weight off. It's working exactly the way it's supposed to work. Scientifically, diets are designed to slow down our metabolism. I want you to think about this. If you're depriving your body of food, right, it's going to lose a little bit of weight at first when your metabolism is really high. So when your metabolism, why can't I say that word right now, is really high, your set point is actually really low. Think about your set point like a thermometer. You put on the air conditioning at 70 degrees, or you set the thermometer at 70 degrees, it will drop, boom. Once you put the cold air on or put the AC on, it will drop to 70 and then it will stop, totally stop, right? Well, your body has a set point. And when you're younger, and depending on your body type, whether you're an ectomorph or an endomorph, your set point will be in a certain place. An ectomorph will naturally have a very low set point. They're those people that you think like they can eat anything and not gain weight. Doesn't mean they're healthy. Okay. So your set point will, like, it's like putting on the air conditioner, right? So if you deprive yourself, your body will lose some weight based on its set point. And at the end of the day, you're often losing fat cells from places that you actually want to keep it. We have a little bit of fat in our muscles. We have certain fat that's protecting us, as opposed to like our visceral fat that often comes up and around our gut and things like that. So that's not the kind of stuff you're going to be losing. You're actually not getting healthier, but you will lose to your set point. Then, because you've restricted yourself, your body has to go in what I call low power mode. It's going to actually slow down. So it means it's not going to metabolize food as quickly, and your set point's actually going to raise. So now the temperature's turned up. So the next time you go on a diet, and remember, you've done this whole yo-yo thing, and a relationship with yourself or with anybody else is based on trust. So now you're doing this yo-yo thing on top of it all, and you go for another diet. So now your body's like, oh my goodness, here we go again. You deprive it, the set point's higher. You're going to stop losing any sort of weight when you get to that higher set point. You're going to be eating less and not losing, and in fact gaining, because your body's like, we can't trust her. And your body loves you so much. Its core desire is to keep you strong and alive. So it's going to have to keep adjusting to do just that. And so now it's going to have to hold on to the food you do feed it, because it doesn't trust you're going to feed it what it needs, and its metabolism is slowing down. So now you end up not losing as much weight as the first time you did it, and actually gaining more weight back as you eat quote unquote regular again. Now, this is just science. We know this is happening. We know this is the case, but also your cravings get completely out of whack because your blood sugar is out of whack. So you go and have a quote unquote cheat meal and you feel like you've gained a whole bunch of weight. Well, that's because your body's holding on to all of it. You're at a blood sugar roller coaster. When we spike our blood sugar, we're going to store fat, but also because your body's been so out of whack, it's going to have to hold on to the food. So if you've been doing this for 10, 20, 30 years, I mean, be honest with yourself. Put in the comments how many decades you've been dieting. No wonder you are where you are. It's not an inevitable fact that just because you're getting older and just because you're going through menopause, that you're just going to gain weight. Weight gain is a symptom of health and hormones. And your hormones are directly related and somewhat totally connected to how stabilized your blood sugar is over time. Think about it. When your blood sugar is spikes, for example, when your blood sugar is out of whack, you're going to release insulin, which is a hormone. And all your hormones kind of like to travel together. They hang out. So one is out of whack, the rest are going to be out of whack. I went through menopause when I was 46 years old, and my doctor was like, how is it that you're not putting on any weight? You're not, experiencing all of the hot flashes and all of that. And I'm like, because of the way I eat. At that point, I had been eating that way for almost 10 years. Thank God I figured this out when I was in my 30s. But our bodies are incredible because they will recalibrate for us. It just, the longer and longer you keep going this way, the harder and harder it is for your body. But I remember my doctor saying to me, it's all about insulin resistance. I'm like, I know, this is what I teach. But we keep thinking we have to reduce our calories, take away carbs. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. Carbs give us energy. Carbs fuel our brain. Carbs are one of only 3 macronutrients. Macro means big, big means important. How do we think if we take away an entire macronutrient, which exists in fruits and vegetables, that's going to work? So here's what I've realized. Too many of you do not care about getting healthy. You actually care more about getting skinny or losing weight. And you might not say you do, but I really want you to think about this. Is it weight loss you're going for, or do you want to be healthy? Now, a lot of women think, yeah, no, I want to be healthy. Of course I do, but I really want to lose weight. It keeps coming up as the number one thing. And if you are in your 40s or 50s, let's be honest with yourself. Like, how important is it to look this vision of, like, what is the point of looking a certain way? Your value is not in what you look like. And if your daughter or your son or somebody said that to you, you would say, no, that's not what you should be believing. That you have to look a certain way in order to be important, in order to be valuable, in order to be respected. You would say no to that, to a friend or your child, but yet you keep thinking yourself, yeah, I want to get healthy, but really I want to lose weight. Getting healthy and losing weight, depending which one is your number one goal, will lead you in 2 very different directions. Going down the weight loss path, if you've already seen it. It's decades and decades and decades of empty promises. And what's the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again. And you keep thinking it's your fault. You keep thinking you've done something wrong, but at the end of the day, the diets are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, but you've been taught wrong. And your body is reacting because it loves you so much. So now let's think about these quote unquote diets that I say are all the same, because they're all based in deprivation, right? The science is there, whether it's keto or fasting. Fasting is just a bougie way of saying, like, we're going to reduce our calorie intake and then eat during certain feeding windows, like we're animals, but also like we spike our blood sugar when we're only eating during these windows, and then our blood sugar gets very low when we're not. Okay, there's a whole lot to that. But then let's take a look at something like Whole30. People will be like, well, that's not really a diet, it's healthy. But that's where the other part of it comes in. Diets you cannot do for the rest of your life, and they are restriction. But so is something like Whole30. Because could you really do that for the rest of your life? Eat super, super clean, and literally when you don't, you are cheating? Is that sustainable? That's a whole nother form of restriction. My whole thing is you cannot get healthy truly from the inside out if you are not balanced. Food serves your body and food serves your soul, and you need both to be healthy. And a healthy body can eat to serve their soul and not have it derail them. If you've ever been on a diet and had your quote unquote cheat meal, and then you've like pretty much kind of like gained 5 pounds, that's your body telling you we're not healthy. If you are having uncontrollable cravings, if you have a sweet tooth, if you aren't sleeping well, if your energy is super low, let's say you're sleeping well and your energy is low during the day, that's your body talking to you saying we are going in the wrong direction. I really want you to ask yourself, do you want to be healthy, or do you want to go down weight loss snake oil? Because here's what I know. When you get healthy, your body will bring you to the place it's supposed to be when it comes to the physical weight. Here's something that, as I thought about this, it really blew my mind. And I love it. Let's see if I can say it correctly, because I've been thinking a lot about this. You have an optimal weight. So many women do. When we talk to women, they'll be like, I really want to weigh blank. Why? Well, that's when I felt like my happiest. Really? Were you on a diet then? Well, yeah. No. But that's really where, when I look at pictures of myself, that's where I feel like I am looking the best. And that's where I really felt the best. And I would argue to say, if you were dieting, you didn't feel that good. But let's do this. Let's say you have an optimal weight. Trying to get to that optimal weight will not get you to your optimal health. You will be focused on the weight, and you will do just about anything to try to get there, and it won't be healthy, it won't be consistent, and it certainly won't be blood sugar stabilization. And if you are joining us in our family and you are focused on weight, you won't get there either. Because what I know is the mind-body connection is so strong. The scarcity mindset of stepping on that scale and getting stressed about it and wondering, oh my gosh, did I lose any weight, is going to absolutely be counterproductive. But when you work to get to your optimal health, you will get to your optimal weight. It may not be that number that you had in mind, because that number came out of nowhere. I can line up 10 women all the same weight and they will all look very different. Back in the day when Marilyn Monroe was the kind of vision of this perfect body, people wanted to look like her. And then there was Twiggy, and people thought they needed to look like her. And we keep trying to adjust to what society tells us is this body that we need to try to morph into. How is it possible that everybody could go look like Marilyn Monroe, and then you have to go and shift and follow the trend of looking like Twiggy? It doesn't make sense. Each one of us were uniquely and wonderfully made to have a body unlike any others. Why would you want to look like somebody else? I want to get healthy. That's been my goal, not at the beginning, but once. Here's what's so crazy. When I first learned how to balance my blood sugar, I did it in a way that wasn't healthy. I did it in a way that was focused on weight loss. And when I got there, it was crazy because I became even more obsessed, because it was the first time something quote unquote worked for me, where I wasn't tracking, I wasn't counting calories, I was eating carbs, and I was unhealthy in my mind. But once I got myself turned on track and I dug into a deep why and realized healthy was what I wanted, not necessarily this body, because that wasn't making me actually happy. I was in misalignment with what I knew I was supposed to do for my purpose and what I was finding to be my value. So once I started getting my head on straight and got my why to the right place, it was, I want to be able to kick a soccer ball with my great-grandchildren when I'm in my 80s and 90s. I do not want my children to have to take care of me as I get older. I have 3 flights of stairs in my house. I want to be able to walk up all of them without help. And when we were building our house, we have a 3-story house, and people were like, were you going to put an elevator in? I said, no. Well, you're not going to always be able to do the stairs. Heck yes, I am. Because if I stop doing stairs, I won't be able to do stairs. And here's the thing. Isn't that what you want? Isn't truly being healthy what you want? The rest comes, but you actually have to surrender to the weight loss goal, because that number is literally pulled out of thin air and you have no control over it. You have control over whether or not you're gaining. You have no control over how quickly your body will lose weight in a healthy way. Your body needs to trust you. Your body needs to know that you are going to be consistent with it. Your body needs to believe that you love it so much that you want to care for it. I want you to think about, maybe you have somebody in your life that you don't particularly like, but you're not going to be nasty to. Like, think about your kids, and if they're in, like, I have kids in high school, right? And they have somebody that they don't really like. And I'm like, well, you still got to be nice to them, right? Well, they'll be nice to them. And my girls are amazing. They will be nice to everybody, but they're not going to put in that much effort to be really deep friends with them, right? But they're friends that they love so much. They're BFFs, the ones that they are their ride and die. Is that what you say? My ride and die? Ride and die. Is that what it is? Okay. Anyway, that one, they're doing anything for. They're bending over backwards. If they get into an argument, they're working on making it better. they're coming at them with such love. It's very different. And if you are constantly trying to change your body, if you are looking at it and wished it was different, if you keep searching for a fix that's going to change the outside, it's like you're mad at yourself, or you don't really like yourself that much. Maybe you're trying to do a few things to be sort of nice to it, but you're never going to treat it the way you should with a body that you love. So if you can flip your thinking into, what does the healthiest version of me do and say and think and believe? How does a healthy person balance their life? Because if you're obsessed about your weight, if you have a scale in your house and you use it on a regular basis, you're going at it in a way that will never get you healthy. But when you believe that you love yourself so much that you are going to be kind to it, that you're going to love it, just like your kids, right? Like, you might go and do a fun ice cream night. You know you're not going to do that every night because that would not serve them. But you're going to let them just go out and have, play in the mud or go get ice cream. That's what a healthy childhood is all about. And that's what it should be for us. Being healthy means being in love with ourselves enough to be able to want to continue to serve it, knowing that we don't have to be perfect, knowing that we can go off the rails sometimes, but come right back on. That consistency is way more important than perfection. And that in order to actually live a purpose-driven life, we have to be healthy, not skinny. And I think there's too many people going for the weight loss, but also saying, I want to be healthy. But what you really mean is, I want to lose weight. I think about our client, Jen. Jen was a guest coach of ours. Now, in our membership group with my clients, we have guest coaches and we have doctors and health professionals and all sorts of incredible experts in the area of mindset, body, and lifestyle. Jen was a client, but she came on as an expert because here's Jen's story. When I met her 2 years ago, I actually was able to do a call with her, which was crazy because I don't get to do many of our initial coaching calls. And she really wanted to work with us. And she said all of the things like, I really want to be healthy. I really want to be healthy. But 2 years later, she remembers back and she's like, I think I really meant I want to lose weight. She was on this journey of self-discovery. And here's what's amazing about Jen's story. So Jen showed up consistently for the last 2 years. Now, she has never felt better. She loves this lifestyle. But as the months went on, she was really like, I'm just really not losing weight. And she realized how important that was to her. But she kept believing, kept plugging in, kept staying consistent. And not that long ago, now just a couple of months ago, she went to the doctors. Now, 2 years in, she really hadn't lost any weight. Now, she had been dieting for literally over 30 years. Her metabolism was molasses. And she went to the doctor. And the doctor ran all sorts of blood work and said, you are unbelievably healthy. I'm sort of surprised. Now, Jen is 5'2", almost 50 years old. And at the point when she came to us, she was 200 pounds. And she knew that that was more than what she considered a healthy person should be. So while she got that blood work back and her doctor was blown away by everything that she was seeing, it was right then and there, Jen finally surrendered. 2 years. She actually said, I'm healthy. I am healthy. And I got to let go of the fact that my body does not look like it did when I was in my 20s and in the military. And she let go. And she's like, Carrie, I truly did. I cared so much about being healthy. And I proved it. I proved that I could be healthy. I mean, to blow away my doctor like that, it was like, it felt great. And my husband didn't care. He loves me for who I am. So what was I holding on to? Why was I holding so tight to the weight loss? And right then and there, she gave it up. She thought she had, but she had been honest with herself finally for the first time in 2 years and said, I didn't really truly give it up. And then she called me a month ago. She said, Carrie, you're never going to believe what happened. Right after I truly surrendered and believed that healthy was what my goal was. Healthy was what I wanted. Healthy was going to keep me alive longer. Healthy is allowing me to hike national parks, which I have never been able to do before. Healthy has given me more energy than I've had in 25 years. Healthy is going to keep me alive for the next 60 or 70. That's what I want. And it was for the first time that I really, truly believed it, even though I told myself, and I had been hearing you over and over again. And she said, Carrie, it was almost like overnight. After I surrendered, I started melting. Literally. She was like, she wears polos to work. She said, it was like unbelievable that my body just started releasing weight. And within a month, she went from being an extra large to a medium. 2 years. And so that's a big piece of our mindsets. She's been consistent. She has been showing up. She has been working on building trust with her body. And remember what I said in the beginning, like all that yo-yo dieting is making your body not trust you and making it have to hold on. I don't know how long the process is for each person. But what I do know is when you truly actually decide that healthy is more important than the weight on the scale, your body gets you to where you're supposed to be. But you can't get healthy by dieting. You can't get healthy by restricting. You can't get healthy by doing things, stopping them, and trying other things. There are 2 schools of thought in nutrition: restriction and blood sugar stabilization. That's it. And the reason why I keep doing what I'm doing, the reason why I have a daily television show, the reason why I keep showing up for you guys in this way is because there aren't people out there teaching this, especially in the way that we do. I mean, think about it. I'm a behavior specialist. I'm an educator, a mindset coach, and a nutritionist all in one with a team of people who weren't 20-year-old dietitians in college, but in 40 and 50 years old, went through their own transformations, their own mindset shifts, and realized I have to support others in this. Got extra certifications and education to be able to do that. That's different. And if you want something different, you have to do something different. And it starts with getting on a phone call and getting your mind blown. Because I can't, nor can my coaches that get on calls with you, dig into your real beliefs about healthy versus weight loss. We can't. And until you get to a place of really truly accepting that I need to be the healthiest version of myself, regardless of what the weight scale says, you're never going to get there. So I need you to get on the computer and get into booking a call. I want you to watch a training, book a call, and get on with our coaches. We really will help you think differently, regardless of whether or not you work with us. But you got to start to think differently. And my podcast is great. We can hear this all day long, but you need to talk. You need to converse. Right now, it's living messy on the right side of your brain. The right side of our brain is our creative brain. It's amazing, but it's messy. If you ever said like, oh, that sounds different when I say it out loud, that's because when you say things out loud, it moves from the right side to the left side. The left side is your problem solving side. It allows you to come up with solutions. So just by having a conversation, you are going to find solutions. You will be on a path to wellness without the belief that you have to change your body to be happy, without the belief that in order to be healthy, you have to go the weight loss route, and without the belief that your value is in the scale. You have too much to offer this world to be stuck in this cycle. And you will not be able to go do the things that you were meant to do if you keep putting yourself at risk for all the diseases out there: high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, obesity, stroke, even cancer. All of it can be attributed to a dysregulated blood sugar. And we need people like you to start making changes, even at 1% difference, so we can undo that statistic. 9 out of 10 deaths are with people in their 60s and 70s due to a metabolic disease. All of those metabolic diseases can be attributed to a dysregulated blood sugar. And if you're not really thinking in your brain about getting healthy versus losing weight, you will not change the statistics. All right, I'm off my soapbox. I'm going to go make, lunch for myself. Go fuel my body. I want you to do the same. Get on a call. We'll put the link right in the comments, right in the post. Get on a call. You have literally nothing to lose. And if you're not doing it, I want you to ask yourself why. Why am I not doing it? Are you too busy? Well, that's just an excuse. Are you not sure? Are you skeptical? Great. Put us to the test. Get on a call. You have nothing to lose. We have people that work on Saturdays and Sundays. So no excuses. Go do it. We got to get everyone healthy.